The saying, "You only have one chance to make a first impression," holds true in many situations, from job interviews to dating. The same is obviously true for speeches and presentations. Research suggests that you only have about 15 to 30 seconds to make a strong first impression and hook your audience. How can you make sure that you start on the right foot in front of your audience? What should you actually say? Welcome, Speechcrafter. Today we learn how to immediately draw your audience into your presentation. There are a number of ways to start your talk. You'll need to immediately capture the attention of the audience. And this can be done in many ways, but before I share them with you, let me tell you how it shouldn't be done. A CEO in the company I was working for always started his presentations with, "I'm so happy to be here today." Okay, why? After that opening, no one was listening to his presentation anymore. This is an excellent way to kill any interest in the presentation and the presenter. Other openings, right up there as excitement killers, are an apologizing statement like, "Sorry, but I'm not used to speaking in front of an audience," or "Sorry, this is the first time I'm speaking in front of an audience." Or using a story or cracking a joke unrelated to the topic, or a boring question like, "Did you ever stop to think blah 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 blah?" Or the classical, "Can you hear me?" Instead of such weak openings, think about how you want to open your power and impact. It's your only chance to capture the attention of the audience, so you'd better use the moment. In the following, we'll cover 5 categories of openings: novelty openings, dramatic openings, question openings, humorous openings, and reference openings. Novelty openings are rare, otherwise they wouldn't be called novelty openings, would they? A few years ago, I was participating in a conference on technology, and on stage there was no speaker. Instead, a robot stood quietly waiting for the room to quiet down. The robot announced the speaker and the theme of the speech. This was how robots will support us in our lives. I think at the time this was a novel idea. Novelty openings get the attention because they provide a unique, new experience. Dramatic openings create suspense. Here's an example. Let me warn you that what I'm going to discuss in the next few minutes is not for the faint of heart. In just 5 years, our way of doing finance and accounting will have changed dramatically. Most finance and accounting staff will have disappeared, and the work will be done by artificial intelligence using machine learning. You're going to listen to that because you are curious about the presenter and how the presenter will present her arguments, or maybe you are in accounting and you are curious about how this will impact you. Then there's question openings. Question openings. Ask a question that you will be answering in your speech. So for example, do schools kill creativity? And then you have to answer it. Humorous openings. This type of opening can be quite effective if the humor is good taste and delivered with the right timing. Such an opening can set the tone for the entire speech and get the audience to relax. An example of a one-liner is, "If it wasn't for all of you here today, I would be alone." Then the speaker goes on to speak about how loneliness can cause all sorts of problems for us. It could be inappropriate, of course, to start out with a funny line before the speech turns into a serious topic, but it can also provide a nice contrast highlighting a serious problem. Reference openings. This type of opening is the most used opening. It starts by creating a reference between the speaker and the audience. It can be personal references when the speaker and the audience have the place of speech in common, or if you return to your university and gave a speech to the current students. It can be a reference to a literature or something other written media that is generally well known. It can be a reference to the weather, and let's say you had difficulties arriving at the venue due to a snowstorm. You could also refer to an event in time or a specific public holiday like the New Year. I think you get it. Your opening needs to draw the audience in, establish rapport, and then lead into the presentation. This can't be done with, "Hello everyone, I'm glad to see you all here today." I encourage you to pay attention to those opening talks in any meeting you have, to understand what is effective and what is not. Look for one of the 5 different openings that I proposed today. The novelty opening, the dramatic opening, the question opening, the humorous opening, and the reference opening. I'd say for every human life, catching someone's attention gives you the responsibility to do something with that. Lead that someone into your presentation. See you in the next video.